And next we have Mrs. Harris, Truman. Harris and Company.
Good evening. I am Mrs. Harris, principal at Truman Elementary. We do have grass, and I do the with mayonnaise. Okay. Now, with me tonight, I have two outstanding teachers and part of our leadership team, Mrs. Hook, who's our librarian, and Mrs. Haven, our first grade teacher. So thank you for showing support. And over here we have Ms. Reuter. Thank you, Mrs. Reuter, for being here too. Okay, so before I begin with the school improvement plan, I would like to publicly say thank you, not only to Rolla Public Schools, but to Rolla community for accepting me with open arms. I mean, this is completely new to me, and it's not who you know, right? So it shows that Rolla Public Schools, when they hire someone, they actually look at student success. Who can make the best change and help the students succeed? A lot of people were like, do you know someone here at Rolla? No, I do not. I don't know anyone in Missouri. So whatever I accomplished in my past as an administrator is what got me here. So thank you very much. Okay, so I was never trained on using this.
Let me give you a quick one.
I got it. I'm good. So don't feel bad, Mr. Ridley. Okay, if you look at our placemat, we did not have one last school year, and I, felt a little bit bad that everyone else did except us, so I wanted to jump on board and copy everyone else. Our placemat correlates and mirrors the comprehensive school improvement plan that we have here at the district level. Of course, I will not be able to talk about all the strategies that we are planning to work with this school year, but I would like to tell you how we came about developing these strategies or keeping them the same or modifying some of them. What we did was, especially for me being new, I had to get to know everything that was in our school campus goal. So I sat with the leadership team and I asked more questions than they did to me. So I said, okay, what is working in our campus? What we need to keep because of course it's beneficial to the students, and what should we modify because it needs some kind of improvement. After we met as a committee, we went and we talked to every faculty member. Every stakeholder had some decision or some saying in regards to our plan. We met again, we actually met several times, and this is our final SIP, okay? So I will start with the first one. See, told you I don't know.
The button on the right.
Which button?
Button on the right side, no, on the thumb, on your thumb.
Oh, on the thumb.
There you go, pull it down. There you go.
Got it. Okay.
That's
so
your training.
What we use, that's what, I need technology training. So before we came up with the school improvement plan, we sat down and we looked at last year's MAP scores. We also looked at the parent surveys that were handed out and passed on during spring of 2015. Even though I wasn't here, we did take a look at that. We took a look, of course, at our last school year school improvement plan, and this is what we came up with. So the first one is parent and community involvement. We felt that this is probably one of our biggest weakness. Not because we're not trying, but there's something that we're not doing that is getting the parents more involved. So by looking at the surveys, some of the parents said that they would like to have more after-school activities for them to learn what we're doing in our campus so that they can help their kids or their children. So what we did was we added 2 extra events. One would just be a fun night, a family night, and one of them will be an academic night so that the parents can see what we're doing with the students. In these 2 events, what we're doing is we're going to combine them with our PTO meetings. They're not coming to the PTO meetings. We'd love for them to be there. We'd love for them to see what PTO is doing for our school, how we use the budget, why we do the fundraisers that we do. So this is the one way that we felt we can get the parents in and give them the knowledge that they need in regards to PTO and how great it is to be a part of that. The Harlem Wizards game, for example, the fundraiser just raised $7,000.
Wow.
And that money stays on our campus, and we would like to share with the community what we plan to do. For example, PTO just bought some of our fine arts teachers' iPads. So the money is being used in a good way. We're also going to continue to send out parent-teacher newsletters every week. Every teacher sends the parents a newsletter as to what they're doing in the classroom every week. I send one out every month, so we're going to continue with that. And the PBS committee also sends out a newsletter to let the parents know what we're doing with PBS and how it's working with our discipline. I also added social media. I added a Twitter account so that the parents can follow us. So follow us on Twitter at Truman Bulldogs. And that we post pictures and we kind of let them, show reminders as to what we're doing, come show support. Our last, if you see those 2 pictures, our top picture was our ice cream social. There was a great turnout, and the bottom one was our donuts with Dad, and we had 750 donuts.
Oh, wow.
Yes, we thought we were gonna run out, so it was great, great support. We're also adding coffee with the principal. And what that is at the end of each quarter, I will be able to talk with the parents. I will invite them in, very informal, sit down, talk to them, and kind of explain to them, we're reading at your surveys, what you're writing, here's what we're trying to do. We still need your support. So we want to hear from them because we feel that the parents write in the surveys their comments, and then they don't hear every other parent's comments. So I want to share that with them. Okay.
All right, I'm following the Truman Bulldogs.
Please, yes, follow us at Truman Bulldogs. All right, highly qualified staff. He's looking right now, that's good. We already know that it is Rolla Public Schools' responsibility to hire highly qualified staff. Our responsibility is to continue to maintain the highly qualified staff here with us. So one of the things that we will continue to do is provide professional development at the building and at central office. And we will also give teachers time to collaborate within each grade level. They need to learn from each other. That's what these professional development days are for. Every teacher, just like the other principals have stated, every teacher does have a technology goal as well as a professional goal that we sit and discuss, and then we review at the end of the school year. That is still going on. The walkthroughs, I am huge on walkthroughs. I try to walk through every day. Sometimes, of course, that's not possible, but at least I try to do it as much as possible. And I want to give the teachers feedback as soon as I walk through, because with our feedback is how we're able to help them grow. And it's not negative feedback, it's positive. Most of it is positive. However, it is the perfect opportunity to see what kind of teaching is going on in the classroom, what kind of learning is going on in the classroom, and what kind of professional development some of these teachers need in certain areas. Okay, if you see those pictures right there, that's our wall, and those are pictures of each teacher in their cap and gown. We have a College and Career Awareness Month. It's pretty cool.
I have to come over and see those.
Yes, please do so. Okay, Mrs. Haven will talk to us a little bit about the instructional resources.
And happy to do so.
Yes, a little nervous. You're not 7-year-olds, so.
Well, I don't know. There have been board
Technology
meetings.
resources. That's for teachers and for students as well. The teachers need to feel comfortable using the resources in order to provide it for the students. If they don't feel comfortable with it, they're not going to use it.
Right.
And then you've wasted the money and the time you've invested in that. Mr. Wright has done a fantastic job of getting us up to par, of providing resources for us. When we go to a training, we have that training, and we can go back that next day and do what he taught us in our classrooms. That's working for us. And we're going to continue to do that because obviously technology changes constantly, and as teachers we have to stay up on that to provide our students with what they need. The resources, of course, are for the students as well, putting iPads in the hands of our students, the netbooks for the older students right now, making sure that they know how to use those resources so that when they are tested on them in using that, they're prepared and not completely confused as to what am I supposed to do with this now that I have it. The next bullet there talking about STAR, Pathways, Reading Egg, Study Island. These are all different programs that we use. The STAR is reading based, which I know was mentioned a while ago. We do that as well. Pathways is a program that I feel very passionate about. It is basically how we teach phonics, especially in the first grade setting. Our kindergarten does it some, our second grade does it some. We hit it very heavy in first grade. And it has it's data driven, so we have a lot of data that we use, and it helps us to provide our students with what they need. I am able to meet with my students every day for what they need. My lowest ones get what they need. My higher ones get what they need too. They're not left out either. I'm very passionate about don't leave those higher kids out as well. Yes, we want to make sure we get those low kids, but make sure we push our higher ones as well. Reading Eggs is an app that we use on the iPads. It's also available on the computer. Study Island is reading and math, so we do both areas there. Fast Forward is, I know that Wyman has talked about it as well. We use it, but we use it mainly with we target the students that are really struggling. There are only like 5 of them that get this right now, this program. And I had a student last year who used it, and the strides he made were absolutely phenomenal. It was amazing. Basically, it retrains your brain and allows you to learn. And he went in, I was concerned at him at the beginning of the year. He started the program. By Christmas, he was already reading at a 2nd grade level. It was just remarkable. And this is a student who would not have had any home help with this. So it's not like he got help at home to prepare him for this. It was the program that helped him to, they did great about getting him there on time so he could start it. But then the program helped to retrain him, and he was one who it was definitely a success story for. Front Row is math-based. I do not know a whole lot about it yet. I think it's more right now for the older students, just because we're still working on basic math facts. Once they get those basic facts, then we can move into that. It's also data-driven. You can see how students are doing. It'll track their growth as well. One of our big pushes in instruction this year is in our math area. And so we're working hard at trying to figure out how to get more math time into our schedule, how to reach those students who aren't getting it, and what strategies do we need to try for them, which goes along with our assessments. We're trying to make sure that the assessments that we do give our students are rigorous, that they are making them think outside the box, that they use those higher order thinking skills in their assessments, as well as in the strategies the teachers use. The shared lesson plans and the scope and sequence, obviously, as professionals, we can learn from each other. And the idea that, Mrs. Harris said about providing opportunities for us to do that. A lot of times in the classroom, you're in your little box and you're focused on your students and what you're doing. And we don't always share out our ideas and say, this really worked for me, or what are you doing that you're so successful? How is that working for you? And the idea is that we can share those things with each other so that we can learn from each other and grow. And then, of course, the impact is on our students. It's all going to help them. Having that scope and sequence, just make sure that we are all on the same page. If you're in your classroom, if I'm teaching basic addition, the other 1st grade classes in my building should be teaching basic addition at the same time. So we're all at the same, when Mrs. Harris walks through, she knows that we're all doing the same basic skill. It gives us a guideline to follow so that we don't have to worry about where am I at. I know where I'm at, it's planned, it's ready to go, and each grade level has something similar to that so that they know what they need to teach, when they need to teach it, and then sometimes how they can teach it, strategies that are available to them.
Relax.
Great.
Come on. Thank you. She did an excellent job. And the one thing that we do as well is when she mentioned when I walk through, I want to make sure that I see everyone, the uniformity within each grade level. All the teachers post their objective, and I tell them that you need to make sure that the students are aware. That's for the students. They need to know, what is my objective for the day? What am I supposed to be learning in this lesson? And so everyone is doing a great job with that, and a lot of people, I've gotten a lot of feedback from teachers saying, this has helped me stay focused and the students stay focused before we actually teach the lesson. So that's great. Okay, if you look at our next slide on student performance, this is our data, Truman versus the state average. That's on the MAP test for last school year. If you look at it, we have done a great job in ELA. The only subject or grade level that we feel we needed to improve a little bit. Now, we can improve in all of them, obviously, okay, and we're still working on that. But we feel that everything that we have implemented in reading needs to continue. We will not change anything because it's working. What we do want to add is a little bit more in the math. We feel that some of the students need to have a little bit more of hands-on, what they're learning in worksheets or what they're learning through videos, the visuals. Some of the students are kinesthetic learners, so we need to teach to their learning abilities or to their learning styles. So we're going to add a lot more of math centers, a lot more manipulatives where the students can build things, kind of like a STEM program, but we will get there. So some of the things that we're doing right now to improve is continue to provide intervention according to the data, which again, if you look at it, it shows that we need a little bit of help with the math. What we're going to do is continue to provide tutoring, either before or after school. We're going to provide small group interventions. We're going to continue with our title. And we're going to continue to monitor attendance. If the student is not in the school or in the class, they are not going to learn. So we have great attendance at Truman, and I'm going to continue that by continuing what was in place last school year. So we still have the students are being acknowledged for the perfect attendance. The parents get the letters if they, the students are missing a day. We get the call. If I have to go pick up a student, I will do that. We already had a couple of parents that said, the bus left my child. I do not want them absent. Can you come? Absolutely, I'm on my way. So we're doing everything possible to make sure that the student is in school every day. The next one that we're continuing to do, because I personally believe I've never had this is new to me, is the positive behavior support, the PBS. It's new to me. I think is absolutely amazing. You walk down those hallways and those kids know what they have to do and they follow directions. And so Mrs. Hook is going to talk a little bit more about that. Thank you.
Okay, so with the positive behavior support, we recognize kids, of course, buzz kids through our buzz assemblies and also secret students in lines. One of the big things I think that's a plus for everyone in the building, kids and teachers alike, is the continuity. There are certain signals that, you raise your hand or ask for attention here and kids know exactly what you need to do and to get there quickly and quietly. If you've been in Truman and you know where I work, it's hugely important that kids go down the hallway quietly. So, I'm like the advocate for that. But it is, and it does make a huge difference. And recognizing those kids, and we have after-school programs that's listed in our, positive behavior support with the music programs and the outdoor kids and all of that. But just recognizing them and giving them that positive, it's not something that's long-term. If a kid's doing the right thing, they're given a buzz buck and they know what to do with that. And it's amazing how excited they are to get 100 of those for their class, so then they get that buzz bash, which is, one of them this year is to play dodgeball with Mrs. Harris. She's continuing that, and I'd kind of like to watch one of those buzz bashes. But,
Which is
but
important.
of all the things that we've implemented, I think PBS is a huge success. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, our next slide is on governance, and I gave the teachers, or the entire staff, a survey just to tell me what's working and what's not working, and I'm not going to get too deep into that, but one of the things that was mentioned was the school climate. They want to improve morale in the school, in the campus. Well, that's a job that I feel I need to do. Okay, I need to work hard on how to build these teams, how to make everyone work together and know that we're not in it alone. It is a complete team. We cannot service the students without the custodians. We cannot service the school without the cafeteria managers. We need absolutely everyone, and everyone is involved, and we're one team. So that's my goal for this school year, to improve the morale, to build those teams with them. I know I'm new. It's going to take time to build that trust, but I think overall it has been a very good transition. Another thing that I will continue to do is to make sure that everyone's voice is heard, whether you are a parent, whether you are a student, or a faculty member. Your voice needs to be heard, and it will be taken seriously and able to make decisions. I will not make decisions on my own. So one of the things that I did do this school year, or we began to do, is October is College and Career Awareness Month. And so I asked the teachers if everyone can adopt a college and teach the kids about college and careers. And at first, of course, the teachers will probably say, one more thing I need to do, because I asked for them to decorate the doors. But during the survey, when I read them, I had a lot of teachers actually say, thank you. We worked together on this. It was a success. The students love it. We love to see the students walk down the hallways and see the teachers in cap and gown and learn about different schools. So the goal is that when the students leave Truman, they will already know facts and fight songs for at least 5 universities if they stay in Truman that long. And we feel that if a student one day in many years to come say, you know what, because of what you taught me at Truman, because of that fight song or because of that fact, I'm in college, or I became a police officer, or I became a doctor or an astronaut. We did our job. So I want to show you a little bit of a short video on our college adoptions.
When I grow up, I want to be a video game designer. A teacher. A builder. A marine. A scientist. A teacher. A marine. A vet. An astronaut. A PE teacher. A paleontologist.
Wow.
We're doing our math. We're ready and smart. We're doing our part. We think it's cool to work hard at school. We're going to college. We got the knowledge. We never started in kindergarten. We're writing. We're reading and writing. We're going to college. We got the knowledge. Yeah!
Rock chalk.
Yeah. Had to go there, didn't you?
Know whose room that is.
That was Missouri SNT cheerleaders. That was not the teachers. So overall, we're very proud of our doors. I think it was a great team building activity. 5 of our teachers won a $50 gift card from Walmart, so thanks to Walmart for donating that. And that concludes our PowerPoint slide, or our
Thank you.
presentation.
Very good, like that. So, question for maybe Craig and the other elementary. How much movement do we have in attendance zones these days? Is it as much as it was in years past?
I don't think much has changed. We get significant movement throughout the year. I don't know that I can give you a percent.
Yeah, I'm not looking for an exact number, but
Yeah,
it's,
it's not uncommon.
yeah, it's still pretty prevalent. Yeah. And that's got to present some challenges.
It does.
Kids come for a month and then they're
Right.
Wyman for a month
The
and,
good thing is that all the schools pretty much do the same
Right.
thing, so it's easy for the transition for
and
the
the
students.
data goes pretty easily between the buildings
Right.
that goes with
Yes.
those kids?
Yes, they do send them with the data.
Good,
Yes.
thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Marangeli, I met a parent at an event the other night, and Truman parent, and I said, "Oh, have you met the new principal?" And he said, "Well, I take my daughter to school every morning, but I've not made the effort to go in and meet her." He said, "But she usually greets us out in the parking lot and opens the door for her." So I thought that was really cool that, that was his
Every morning.
connection.
And I know the old principal, Mrs. Bramwell, did the same thing.
Former
but-
principal, not old.
Former, thank you, yes, because we don't want her to call us and say,
We're
sorry.
several of the same
Our
vintage.
former principal, Mrs. Bramwell, did the same thing, and when I came, they asked me, do you want to continue to do that? I said, absolutely, that's something that I did in my old school as well. I don't get to talk to the parents every day. And so being there, greeting them with a smile, it's the perfect time to build that relationship with them. And they have appreciated that, as well as I do the pickup area too. So I open the doors for the students and make sure that I know, that the students are in the right car. So,
Yes, I think he really felt like he had a connection to you, even though he hadn't really
only knew me
formally
by-
met you.
All of our elementary
Thank you.
principals do that.
yeah. Thank you.
Good, thank you.
Thank you.